Hey everyone, and welcome back to Calmsden Farm for episode 3 of our Let's Play series. So we're now into October, and as you may see that our money's gone up quite a little bit from where we finished off in the previous episode. I did get the single layer of fertiliser on here, so we're up to 75% yield bonus. We've got one more application of fertiliser to do on this, and then we'll be up to 98 or 97.5% yield bonus on the canola. As I mentioned towards the end of the last episode, the plan was to do one of the fertilising contracts. I actually took out the contract in field 17, which is sunflowers. I did say I was going to use our own equipment. Then after finishing our field, I realised that we weren't going to have enough fertiliser and enough money to buy enough fertiliser to do that. So what I did was took out field 23 as a contract. As you can see, the borrowed tractor's still in there because I haven't completed it yet. I completed that one. So I had to do 23, which was worth 7,000 to complete, just to get enough fertiliser to do 17. A contract also popped up on field 13. If you just go in here and turn the weeds off, you can see this is the one I haven't completed yet. So there's that tiny bit I haven't done, but we're just about to complete that contract. So I had to borrow that because it got the slightly larger spreader, because it was going to take forever to do 13. So we will do. So it was a game of musical contracts working out. So I think field 17 was worth around about 30,000 or just over. So this one we've got minus 33,000. There is a little bit of fertiliser left in but we'll get reimbursed for that. So we'll collect that. So that takes up to 60,000, which is a little bit more than I was planning on doing. So we need, running around for the mower, it's right behind me. So what we're going to do today is mow the grass fields and hopefully try and get some silage and hay bales made. And then we can start looking to get some cows. So we'll get the electric cables disconnected. I don't think we can disconnect the PTO because we're not straight enough. Let's just straighten this up a bit. Yeah, so we do have a little bit more money than I was planning on. And even just doing those contracts with a 42 metre spreader took a long time to do, and I think in total we ended up buying a further 10 bags of fertiliser, another 18,000 in fertiliser just to get those done as well. Get the PTO attached and the cables all hooked up. So what we'll do, we'll start with the field 8, so the grass in field 8. We'll do this first, and then hopefully the plan will be to get all of our 3 grass fields cut, which will be like the final cut of the year. I just realised I need to put the header back. Get this unfolded. Get some lights on so we can actually see. Yeah, it's not sure how well this is going to cut with this field. It's on a slight slope. It's not too bad, but some areas of it look a little bit steep. Yeah, so what we'll do, we'll either ted this field and do all of this field for hay, and then the other 2 fields of silage, or we'll do the 2 smaller grass fields for hay and then do all this one for silage. We'll see how many bales we get off each one. So I don't know what the current yield bonus, 23%, which was the same as the other field, so not a huge amount we're going to get off here, but then it's the first cut, so it was never going to be amazing. I say as long as we can get some hay. Hay is the main thing we need, because until we get a feed mixer we can't use silage for feed anymore. I can't show you because we don't have an animal pen, but The feed requirements for cows is now grass, hay and total mixed ration, so there is no option to feed silage and hay like there was in 19. So we can only feed them hay, which is 80% effectiveness, which isn't too bad, just to get us going. But obviously it would be more ideal to get total mixed ration, so we are making the full use of production of the cows that we do buy. So I believe the update to the map is also in testing now. I think just seen a post on Facebook saying Oxygen David has submitted it to Giant, so not sure when that's going to be released. Possibly tomorrow. I'm currently recording this on Thursday, so depending how long it takes to get through testing, maybe early next week, possibly. There is no new save game required, but it did mention that some of the fixes will only work on a new save game. I'm not sure which ones those are, but with how much work we've already put into this, I won't be starting a new save game. I just won't have the time to redo everything to get the save game up to date in the current position we're in. So I'll just continue with this save game, and hopefully that there won't be any of the major issues that will need the new save game. The one thing now, we have got a little bit more money, we can get the fence repaired. So what we'll do, we'll get a worker to make a start on tedding or windrowing. Slightly awkward shaped field, so don't know how well it'll do on either. I think the worker may do a better job with tedding than doing the windrowing. So possibly we may put the worker on tedding this field while we then go and cut the other two fields, and then we'll finish, swap over and finish off any tedding that's been missed, and then we'll get both fields, all three fields rowed up, ready for baling. We will need to lease the bale wrapper, which I mentioned last time as well, but we now have more than enough money for that. I think it's only around about 2,500 to lease the bale wrapper we need for the Heston bales. And then because we do have that extra money and we will have the hay by the end of this, we'll lease an animal transport trailer and start buying some cows. So then we can start on our milk production. One thing I also do want to check is field 23, because that has currently got soybeans in, and it's not a too bad of a field size that if we can pick up the contract for harvesting that, it would be one that would be worth doing. So field 30 is corn, 27,000 for that nice big John Deere combine, but that is a huge field. That's this one down here, and that is, you can see how long it took us to do that. That's nearly 4 times the size. Even with a bigger combine, that's going to take a few hours to do. But field 23 is not too bad, but it might not possibly be ready till next month. Yeah, so it's possibly one to look out for in November. See if we can get the contract for that. With doing the fertilizer on there as well, it will improve the yields a little bit. So if we do pick that up, hopefully that'll increase the excess we get off it to give us a little bit more money. Okay, so we're just coming up to the end of field 8. Then what we'll do is switch over to the fence. We'll get the tedder set on a worker on this field. A worker can start tedding this field while we're going to cut the other 2 fields. So then we'll get these rowed up and get them all baled. I'll get the bales put under shelter so they're out the way, although it doesn't necessarily matter in the current like version of the game with the seasons we have. Yeah, but still be nice to put them under cover. And then what we'd do once we've got all the bales moved out of the way, we'll lease the animal transport trailer, and then we'll buy a few loads of cows. I'm not sure how many cows can fit in that shed or the pasture, so until we actually buy some, I'm not sure how many we can actually fit in there. So hopefully it's around about 100. So that's a reasonable size herd of cows. We won't buy that many. I don't know how much I think they're about 1,800 for a fully grown cow. I say fully grown cow, 18-month-old cow. Just so they can start reproduction and producing milk straight away. So we'll see how much it comes to for like one full load. See, we still need to keep ourselves a little bit of money for covering loan interest, and we are going to need to buy some more fertilizer as well. So I don't want to spend all the money on cows, but we'll get a decent amount to get us started. So it should be just this last cut, and then that's field 8 all done. What we'll do as well, we'll repair the fence before we put the worker on. That still needs doing. Now we've actually got the money to do that. I'm not sure how much that's going to actually cost though. Right, that's field 8 all done. We'll get the mower switched off and folded up. And then we'll switch over to the fence, get that repaired. Get the worker set off, and then we'll cut those other 2 fields. Then they are quite small fields, so it's not going to take too long to do. I'm not going to cut field 15, although the cows, there is no grazing for the cows, so when we do get them, it wouldn't matter if we did actually cut that field, but I'd rather just leave that for the cows to graze on. We just pull this up here. Yeah, these fields are actually a little bit smaller than I thought. It does go around there a little bit, but yeah, they're not huge fields. But we should get enough. Well, we can't start feeding total mixed fraction until the silage bales are fermented, which won't be until possibly January at the earliest. So it won't be long after that we'll be able to cut the grass again for a spring silage cut. So we'll get this repaired first. See how much this is going to cost us. 7,155. And then we'll get the tedder, which I put in here. Now this barn's not suitable for storing equipment in, really. And it's going to be a case of hooking up the tedder and then trying to reverse out. Let's get the cables on the hydraulic hoses. I think this is going to be the easiest way to try and get out. Although saying that, it's probably still not going to be very easy. Oh, there we go. So we'll get the work going on this, and then we'll get the other two fields cut. I'm not sure how well the work is going to do, so I'm just going to... I'll start him off the top going across. And then we'll see how it goes from here. What have I forgot to put the PTO on? That's better. That's not perfect, but we'll leave him to it and see how they get on. So we're going to get these next two fields cut. I'll get these rowed up, and then we can start baling. If our mow is going to actually fit through this gate, it's going to be tight. Just about. Let's get the gate closed so it's out of the way. The sounds on the gates, you can actually hear the latches, is rather nice. It's better than the some of the sounds in 19 where everything sounded like a wooden door. Let's get that switched on, lowered down, and away we go. I think once we've got a bit more money, we'll look at investing in one of the slightly larger grass fields to make things a bit easier. Because these aren't the best of fields, they are so awkward shape, and especially with its slope as well, they don't make it the easiest of fields to work. Possibly field 10 will be one we'll look at, which I think is around about 230,000, so a little bit out of our price range at the moment. But we'll see how much grass we get off these fields and how much we actually use with the cows we have. Once we kind of know how much feed we need for each year, we can kind of judge whether these fields are large enough to get all the hay and silage we need, or whether we need to actually look to expand our grass areas. We'll also have a look at doing some corn silage as well in the future. So we'll put in the silage clam. Okay, so all the grass fields are now cut. We're just finishing off the tedding. The work I didn't do a huge amount. We did about 3 rows up and down, then stopped. So I've just taken over to finish off the tedding. So the next job was to get these rowed up. And then we get them baled. The animation for the tedding is really impressive in 22 compared to the previous versions. They've done a really good job with the texturing, the animations as well. Similar to the straw coming out the back of the combines is a lot better now than it was previously. But that is very nice. So that's the this field all done. We won't do the other 2 fields as we're going to do those for silage. So what we'll do, we'll get the header dropped off and then hook the windrower up. Let's see if I can get the windrower out. I may have put the mower in the way. Nope. Should be able to get that out, so we won't put this back in the shed just yet. Drop this off here. Actually get in there to disconnect it. I'm really hoping the map object hider mod comes out soon so I can get rid of some of this junk. I know you can get rid of these bales. These bales in this shed, you can delete or demolish those with the build mode to get rid of those, free up a little bit of space, which we'll probably do. But the caravan, the spreader and the pallets and that, they don't disappear. And none of this junk around here does either. It would be nice to get the map object hider so we could get rid of those. Just to give us a little bit more space in here, because it is a fairly tight yard. What the plan for the future will be, if we do get enough money, we'll expand, get a new building put up. So we've got some better sheds for storing equipment in. So carefully drive out of here. So what we'll do first, we'll work our way the opposite way to the way we did. So we go down to field 11 first. And see if we can actually get through the gate there. Hello, there's a dog just sitting on the side of the road. He must be waiting for the postman. Oh yeah, I don't know if we're going to get through this gate. It may be a case of trying to reverse through, may be easier. Yeah, getting the mower in wasn't too bad. What I always find with these windrows is they have reverse steering on. Which can sometimes make things a little bit more difficult, but we are through. I'm through the second gate into our field here. So yeah, not huge fields, these two. What they'll do for to get us started. Let's get this switched on and lowered down. And I will say this vent, I don't think the automatic gearing, the way the gearing works now in 22, the automatic gearing is not great with this tractor. There was a few times when I was doing the tedding that it was kind of bouncing between 2 gears. Especially on some of the slightly steeper parts of the hill going upwards. It couldn't keep up a consistent speed very well. I say this is a fairly decent sized windrow for how big these fields are, so it's not going to take too long to do this. And then we can get it all baled up. I'm not sure what the best way to do this would be. So really it's probably windrow's a little bit too big for a field this size. It'll make it a little bit more awkward to do. Yeah, so I think it's just going to be going up either side, then we'll do one down the middle to finish it off. Right, so it looks like we've probably got one more little bit to do, and then we'll get over to the next two fields, get those done. Just that tiny little bit, which what we'll probably do is merge that into this row here. So we just back up a little bit and just redo this one, and then just merge those into theirs, and that will be this field done. Right, so I'll go and get the other two done, and then we'll get the baler hooked up and we can start baling up. Okay, so the grass and hay are all windrowed up and we're just about to start baling. One thing we do need to do is, before we do the bale up the grass, we'll get some silage additive from the store, just to put that in the baler to give that a try. I'm not sure how much of a difference it actually makes. I've never actually used it before, but we may as well give it a go. So we'll nip down to the store after we've done the hay. We'll get a pallet of silage additive. We'll also pick up the bale wrapper, so we'll take the fence down with the pallet forks on. I think the silage additive is a pallet. We buy a IBC of it. Nope. Yeah, so it'll be that. So we'll get one pallet of that. We'll bring that back on the forks with us, and then we can bring the bale wrapper back with us as well at the same time. I'm not sure how much it uses, how much that pallet, how far it'll go. So it'll be interesting to find out exactly what kind of percentage it increases the yield by. There's me stopping the baler thinking it needs emptying. No, I'm not using a round baler. So used to using round balers in 22 so far. I keep forgetting this is a square baler non-stop. And I forgot to see, it looks like the bale sizes are the same as straw. They're 8,450 litres, so it doesn't look like there's any difference. Oh no, they're 1,000 less. Oh, what was that? 7,510 I think. So you do get a little bit more for straw, same as the base game balers, but the capacity's not as large. There's the first bale about to drop off. I do like this baler, sounds absolutely amazing, and the detailing in it as well is really, really good. So we've already got, what's that, 3, we're on our 4th bale now, so I think we're going to get a decent amount of hay off this field, considering it was only showing 23% yield bonus. As I say, I don't know if ploughing and lime make any difference to grass, so I don't know if the requirement of those makes any difference to the yield or not. But I think we're going to get plenty to keep us going till next year anyway. We'll get another cut for hay in the summer. Come on, Massey, you can do it. I think going up that section of hill's a little bit too much for the Massey. All I'll have to do is come down for that bit. Right, so this is the last run of hay to bale up. Currently got around about 13 bales in total. So we should get, well, there's another one, so that's about 14. So possibly we may just about get 15 hay bales, which isn't too bad. That should be more than enough to keep us going until summer next year. Then we'll do another cut. But when we do the next cut on the fields, we'll do all the fields for hay rather than split it. So we'll probably do another cut in spring, towards the end of spring for silage, and then we'll do another cut towards the end of summer, so kind of mid to late summer for a hay. So we'll just finish off this tiny little bit here. Get that switched off and get those bales ejected. Hold that up, and then we'll just have a look at the stats page, and we have got 15 bales produced today so far. That's 15 bales of hay. And so what we'll do now, we'll head down to the store in the fen, get the silage additive and also the bale wrapper. We'll bring that back up with us. So I'll just park this up over here out the way for now. Turn that off. Go and jump in the fen. We'll have to get the front loader back on and the pallet forks. What we'll do as well is we'll just quickly fill this up, because we did buy the diesel earlier. Don't know how much is left in there. Pretty much all of it will be gone. 79 litres left. Well, that's both tractors filled up anyway, so it should keep us going for a little bit. We'll get the front loader on, then we'll head down to the store and pick up the silage additive and the bale wrapper. Okay, so down at the local farm shop, we'll pick up the wrapper. So we want, just check the used equipment. A nice case. It would be a nice upgrade for the combine, but a little bit out of our price range at the moment. And nothing else of use. So we want pallets, and we'll just get the one pallet of the silage additive for now. And then we need the bale wrapper. For the Heston bales, you do need to download the these modded versions of the in-game square round bale wrapper. So there's two different ones, one for the New Holland D1000 bales if you're using that baler, or the D800 1000, and then this one will do the 1.8 and also the 2.2 meter long Heston bale. So we do need to make sure that we only do the 2.2 meter bales when we go back. We're just going to lease this for now, but at some point we will, if we keep this baler long term, we may look at buying one of these wrappers as well. But the fact that the in-game balers do larger capacity bales, and being slightly newer balers as well, it may be something we upgrade in the future. But for now, leasing it will be just fine. Let's get this hooked up. No PTO on this one. So hopefully this pallet doesn't go flying off the forks driving up the road with it on there. I've found after the update the pallets seem to be a lot more temperamental, and when they do go wrong they seriously go wrong, flipping tractors over and flying across the map. So yeah, it does seem the heavier the pallets are, the worse the problem is. Well, we made it back to the farm without any issues. The pallet's still there. So we'll get the additive tank filled up. So this pallet's only 60 litres, so I don't know how much this is actually going to fill this tank on the baler and how much it actually uses. I don't know if one pallet is going to be enough, but we'll see how far we get with it. So I've not used the silage additive in 22 yet, so this is the first time using it for me. And with this being a modded baler as well, I don't know how it's set up for the use of silage additive compared to the base game equipment that has the option. It looks like we're going to be 50% on the tank with the 60 litres. So just under. So what we'll do, we'll check the bale size. So we want 220, just so we don't produce bales we can't wrap. Let's just lower the forks down on this, not leaving it in the air, and switch the engine off. Yeah, so 60 litres is only half a tank. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll have enough to do both fields. I hope so anyway, because at 2,900 a pallet, if that 60 litres doesn't last that long, it might not be worth actually bothering with. As I don't know exactly what the effect is. It's another one of those things in the game where it doesn't really tell you properly, which again I think they should really look at improving, rather than just having, hey, this can boost the yield. Yeah, that's great, but by how much? Don't know how well this is going to go uphill, so we may have to drive up the field and then come back down. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit too much of a struggle going uphill, so looks like we'll have to just drive down baling, then drive back up with it switched off. See if we can just get the headlands first coming down. So if anybody does know the silage additive, how much it affects the grass, if you've managed to work it out. There's that dog again. It looks like 5,600 litres for a grass bale, and by the amount of silage additive we've used, unless you have to switch it on. Is it automatic? I can't see any option for switching it on. It doesn't look like we've actually used any. Not that I've noticed anyway. Now it is going down very, very slowly. Yeah, I think we'll have more than enough to do both of these fields. So we've got this last little bit of grass to do. And that's all the baling done for today. So I think we've got around about 10 grass bales so far. So just a little bit less than the hay. I say I had no idea how much that silage additive has made a difference or not. So we'll get that switched off. Get these last couple of bales out. What's that? 5 bales there. 6, 7, 8 in this field, and then 3 in that field over there. So that's 11 bales in total. Get that folded up. Drop that there. Jump in the fence. Gonna take the bale spike, pallet fork off for now. Get that drop down there. So it's a bit easier to get through the gates. We're not going to get it caught on anything. At least this gate is a little bit easier because we can come straighten up and swing right round, although not turning very well. Get in there. Yeah, so what we'll do, we'll finish getting these bales wrapped up and then we'll call it for today, and then next time we'll be into November. It's turning with this this thing on. Really doesn't like turning. Yeah, well, hopefully you can get that contract on field 23 to do the harvest the soybeans in that field, and then we'll look at getting the cows, getting our first cows on this our new farm and getting those fed. That's the first bale wrapped up. Yeah, these tractors really don't like working on this hill. Let's drop this one over here. Yeah, so I say if we can do the contract first next time, that'll give us a little bit more money to get a few more cows, and then we'll see how many we can actually buy, get those fed. Possibly have a look, see if there's any other contract that we could do that's not going to take too long. But I think that'll be us done for this year, because I really don't think there'll be much for us to do over winter. So it looks like I'll probably skip ahead until February, possibly even March of next year. Then hopefully as we progress, say potentially look at buying the forestry area. Although we could easily plant more trees in there. They take around about 26 months to fully grow, so it depends whether we're gonna still be on this map 26 months on from when we actually plant any trees. So the forest area at the moment just doesn't look like it's worth the investment for how much it costs to how many trees are in there. But it would be nice to have a small forestry area, even if it's we only do like 10 trees, 20 trees a year, just something to do a bit different during the winter months. That's the last bale in this field, and then we've got the 3 left to do in the other field. I'll get all the hay bales collected up. I will get those put in the shed next to the straw bales, ready for feeding the cows next time. All these grass fields are going to need... Oh, we've got 2 bales left over here. Completely forgot about these 2. Yeah, we'll We'll get some fertiliser on these 3 fields as well. But that's not something we really need to worry about until spring as well, because we could do that before it starts regrowing in spring. But it is a job we could look at doing next time if we got the time to do it. Silage bales will probably just leave in the field for now until they're fermented, and then we'll get them moved. So I may try, possibly may just stack them up in the silage pit, because we're not going to be using that for a little bit. Just so that they're ready for mixing up TMR. Once they're ready, we'll look at trying to get a feed mixer so we can start feeding the cows TMR to increase their production. So we're going to get these last 3 bales wrapped up. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, let me know in the comments about whether to do any time-lapse sections or not. I'm doing the work anyway, so it's not as if it's gonna make much difference to me. It's just the downside to it is it slows down the rendering process, so it'll increase the rendering times. Simply because it just takes a lot more to go through all the frames to speed them up. So currently a 40-45 minute video I can render in about an hour, whereas a 15-minute time lapse takes about 3 hours to render. So you can kind of see just how much it slows down, having to process all those extra frames. Which, hey, why did it not pick that one up? Wrong with this bale. Okay, so we've got a bale that for some reason doesn't exist by the looks of it. Let's see if this one works. Right, is that... It's physically there because I can walk on it. We'll try it from the other angle, see if we can pick that one up. Yeah, so let me know in the time lapses. I'm more leaning to not doing them simply because of the fact that the increased render time will make it difficult then to get the videos done and all the time lapse videos rendered. Okay, so this one bale does not want to wrap. Is a little bit strange. Oh, I know why that one won't wrap. Possibly, and that possibly may have been the first bale we did. I think it, because there was already some material in the baler, it may have come out the wrong size. Oh yeah, I think that one's a little bit too big. Yeah, that's a 240. Yeah, this is the downside with the switching the bale sizes. If you've got material in the bale, the first bale that comes out doesn't seem to change size properly. The capacity seems to change, although it didn't on that one. Yeah, so we've got 6,000 litres of grass that we can't wrap, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, so just let me know in the comments what you think about that, and we'll end it there for this episode. Again, I'm trying to keep these episodes down to a reasonable length, and they always end up around about 40 minutes plus long. So the plan for next time, yeah, we'll try and get that contract on field 23 if we can get that to pop up and do that. We'll also look at getting our first cows as well. So if you have enjoyed this episode, then please don't forget to give it a like. I really do appreciate it, and it does help the channel out. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. This is the channel for the Let's Plays on Farm Simulator 22 and also other games as well. Currently a Transport Fever 2 and also possibly some live streaming as well on this channel. So yeah, consider subscribing so you can keep up to date with when the videos are released and stuff like that. I'm gonna try and get all this stuff put away. One other thing we really could do with doing is getting a a pressure wash so we can start getting stuff cleaned off. And before I forget, we'll just return this because we've finished with it for this year. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.